If your cat is limping, or you just notice that they're favoring one of their legs, this can be really alarming. It could be something serious, or it could be something minor, but either way, you want to figure out what's going on so that you can help your cat. I am not a vet, and this is not medical advice. With any of these steps or anything that you try at home, please do speak to your vet first to make sure that it's okay for your cat. Also, if your cat is limping, please go see a vet. Their nail may have gotten caught on something, or maybe they did injure themselves when they were outside. You can tell if their nail has been recently trimmed if it's smooth on the end. But if it's sharp and jagged, then it could be causing pain. The easiest way to trim a cat's nail is to use a pair of clippers made specifically for trimming nails. You can find these online or at your local pet store. If none of those steps helped you figure out what's going on, then the next step is to observe your cat. Observe how they're walking and how much they're putting weight on their affected leg. If you notice that they're putting hardly any weight on their leg at all, then it's likely that there's some sort of muscle or tendon injury. They may have injured themselves jumping off of somewhere high, or they could have been in a fight with another cat. Either way, if they're not putting weight on their leg, then you should schedule a vet appointment right away. On the other hand, if they are putting weight on their leg, then it's likely that it's a less serious issue, and it's probably fine to wait until their next checkup to get it looked at. Once you have the clippers, you'll want to gently hold your cat's paw, and then with the clipper, you'll want to cut above the quick. Blood in the litter or straining to pee could mean that there's a urinary tract infection or some sort of kidney issue. Every vet would agree that those are basic steps that you can do to try and figure out what's going on before you bring your cat into the clinic. But remember, if your cat is limping, please bring them into the vet. These steps are only meant to help you figure out what might be going on until you can see a vet. And this is especially true if they're also having trouble using the litter box. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to learn more about cats, check out some of our other videos. We'll see you next time. In general, if your cat stops using the litter box or starts using inappropriate spots around the house, it could be because they're having pain when they're using the litter box. If you notice any blood or that they're straining to pee, then definitely make a vet appointment. The quick is the pink part inside the nail, and cutting above the quick will stop you from bleeding. Cats have 9 lives. So if you accidentally cut into the quick, it's not the end of the world. But it will cause your cat to bleed and probably yelp. And when you're done trimming all of their nails, you can give them some treats to help them feel good about having their paws handled. These steps are only to help you figure out what might be going on until you can see a vet. As you run your fingers along their leg, you're looking for any swelling, any redness, or any other signs of injury. You should also do this around their knee and behind their knee to see if there is any swelling or anything going on back there. If you do notice any swelling or redness, it could mean that there was an injury and it could be causing your cat pain. If you notice anything abnormal, be sure to let your vet know. So in today's video, we'll walk through 6 steps that every vet would recommend to help you figure out why your cat is limping. If you press down and leave an impression, then there is some swelling in that area. Now, you'll want to do this gently and carefully. Don't force anything if it hurts your cat or if you notice any crepitus. Crepitus is a fancy vet word for when you hear or feel grinding bones or cracking bones. This is not a good sign, and it means that you should not move their limb further. Once you try to move it and you notice that there's some sort of abnormal sound coming from it, or that it feels like the bones are grinding together, that could mean that there's something more serious going on, like a fracture or a dislocation, and you'll want to bring your cat in to see the vet right away. But if there's no crepitus, and the movement doesn't seem to bother your cat, then it's likely that the muscles and the tendons are okay, and it's probably not an issue. And if you notice any swelling, it could mean that there was an injury, and it could be causing your cat pain. If you notice anything abnormal, be sure to let your vet know. Or if they got into something that they shouldn't have, like maybe a fight with another cat or something going on outside. If you notice that there is a foreign body, I would highly advise taking it out yourself. Because if you take your cat into the vet, and they need to sedate them to remove it, that could actually cause more pain for your cat than it would to just take it out yourself. When you're doing this, make sure that you clean your hands thoroughly before and after, and make sure you use some sort of antiseptic spray or wipe down the area to avoid introducing any bacteria. Now, before we get into those steps, I do need to give you a little disclaimer. The first thing you will want to do is to examine your cat's leg and see if there is anything on it. Like if there's something stuck in their paw or around their leg. if there's a foreign body stuck in there, if there's a thorn from maybe a rose bush outside, if you don't see anything on the leg, then the next step will be to check between the toes. Now, most cats, when they're not getting their paws handled very often, will have their toes closed. This makes it hard to see in between their toes. But the best way to open up their toes is to slowly start massaging the pad of their foot. If you start massaging where their toes are, they should eventually open up, and you will all be able to look in between their toes to make sure that nothing is caught in there. And if you do see anything in there, again, you can take it out yourself. Just remember to clean your hands thoroughly before and after, and also clean the area with an antiseptic. If you still haven't figured out what's going on, then the next step is to check their nail. The next step is to examine the rest of their leg. Another way to check for swelling is to press on the area with your fingers. Once you've examined the entire leg and found nothing, the next step is to try moving your cat's toe in their leg. So far, we've ruled out foreign bodies, checked their nail and the rest of their leg, and moved their toe. Our last step is to check their litter box. Make sure that there isn't blood in the litter or that they aren't straining to pee. Those are our 6 steps to help you figure out why your cat might be limping. I hope that this video helped you, and I hope that your cat feels better soon.